We've got about another minute now, and then I'll get started. Because I spoke to some people that I thought were going to be on here today, and I don't see them yet, so.
No.
Okay, we need to, Monique, can you mute yourself, please?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, well, good afternoon, everyone. It's 1 o'clock. We're going to get started on today's presentation on writing a better cover letter. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Sandi Furman, and I'm going to be your moderator for today's presentation. Joining me is Harvey Easton. Some of you may see Stephanie Schrum, his name under there, but it's not. It's Harvey. And then Lori is also joining us. So really, in today's presentation, the reason why we really focus on cover letters is because this could make or break your resume being looked at by an employer. So let's get started. So a lot of people say, well, should I bother? Should I write a cover letter? And I'm going to tell you, if a job description asks for it, you absolutely must. But we also recommend that even if it's not requested, your cover letter is the opportunity for you to sell yourself. And again, it will pay the connection between the employer and yourself. This is the opportunity for a cover letter would cover things, give you a better connection to the employer. And we're going to talk about that and how do you do that. We're going to explain that also can explain gaps in your employment history. And whereas on your resume, most of you will have the dates that you were employed, but it doesn't give any explanation as to why there is a gap. So that's also a great opportunity. And then other information that's not on your resume, because as you know, you want on your resume should only have your key points of what you're looking for. A cover letter is probably the most frustrating and hardest process in the job search. At least I find that with a lot of our clients are saying, where do I start? How do I do this? I have no idea what to say. Well, our suggestion to you is, and this is going to be one that you're always going to remember, is to do an erotic cover letter. So what we mean by that, the E, we want it to be enthusiastic. The R is for your reputation and your research. The O is your organizational skills. The T are your talents or skills of what the employer is looking for. I is the interest. Why do you even want to work at that company? And then the C is the connection. So we're going to go through all of this, each one, and show you what we mean by that. So let's start out with the enthusiastic. So at the beginning of your cover letter, of course, you're going to have your name and address and all your particulars. And then you're going to have the date, today, the date that you're doing your cover letter. And then following that, you'll have the company name. Okay, you're going to have the salutation to the person, and we're going to talk about that. So your first line is, well, what do I say? Well, you have to be enthusiastic about it. So you're going to say things like what's showing up on the screen. I was excited to see your posting, or your posting caught my eye because I was delighted to see it or I was delighted to see that you're now hiring for an administrative assistant position. I should mention, sorry, at the beginning, I should have mentioned, if you have any questions, we're happy to take them. Just put it down on the chat line, and Harvey's the one that's going to be monitoring those. And please feel free, Harvey, to interrupt. If we get too many questions through the presentation, we'll probably hold off and answer them. We can always go back to a slide, okay? I also will let you know we are recording this, so it will be available for you at the end of the presentation, because there's a lot of material we're covering here today. So the next one, part of your erotic job cover letter, is your reputation of the company and your research. Do your research on the company. This could make all the difference in the world. My best explanation I like to use is if you're applying to, for instance, Cargill here in London, and you're a vegetarian, that is probably not a good fit for you. Now, for those of you that don't know what Cargill does because you haven't done your research, they are a meat processing packaging company. So that's definitely not going to be what you want to do. So even before you start out, please do your research on the company. It might not be a good fit for you, and it might not interest you. The worst thing you can do is work for a company that you're not interested in. So part of the reputation and your research is you're going to show them that you did do your research and you know about the company. So you're going to say things, I'm impressed with the many awards that Busy Management Company has recently won, and I'm excited to be part of future growth of the company. You will see any awards that a company has been granted on their website. For instance, a really good one is the London Chamber of Commerce. They offer business awards all the time. Perhaps they won the top 50 employers in London, the best managed employers. So all of their awards that they have been given will definitely be on their websites. And that's a perfect intro. That is really good to know. Another one is you're thrilled to have the opportunity to apply for a position at London's leading widget company. So that goes to show if you're applying at Cargill, I'm going to use that example again, you're excited to be working at London's major meat processing packaging company, okay? Everybody okay on that? Any questions so far, Harvey?
No, nothing yet, Sandy.
Okay. So here's some things that you do not want to include under your reputation. Never, ever start a cover letter with "Dear Hiring Manager" or "To whom it may concern." Okay? Your research on their website, most likely under the management section, will show, or if it's a smaller company, it'll say "our team." It'll give a picture and a person's title, their job title, on the website again. If you don't see it on the website, give them a call. When you call, the receptionist answering the phone will be more than happy. And just be honest. Just say, I'm calling, I'd like to apply for this position. Can you tell me the name of the person that's responsible for the hiring of, and be specific of the job, okay? Because if you're applying for a manufacturing or a production job, most likely the resumes are going right to the manufacturing manager, the operations manager. If you're applying for an administrative position, resumes may be going right to HR, or they could be going to an office manager. So be sure that you ask, in what department and what the job is that you're applying for the job, and then they will give you the name of the person.
Sandy, we have a question.
Sure.
Somebody wants to know, if you do not end up finding a contact name for the cover letter after trying all of the avenues, do you just leave the open line out to "Dear, etc.?
You could just leave it out, or if using the last point we have here is if using the wrong person's name is better than "Dear Hiring Manager." So I would say let's just leave it right out. You don't need to. You could get right into it. It's with great enthusiasm that I am applying for such and such a job. Okay, and remember, there's not only a company website that's available out there. In today's world, you could check so many things. LinkedIn is a really good one. Facebook, a lot of companies are on Facebook. So it's not going to, this is probably the one thing that's going to take you a lot of time, is to find out the name of the person when you're doing your research. Okay, our next one is under organization, I like to call it. So this is telling you, outlining, or how organized are you? So why were you attracted to the posting? What can give you a personal connection? You're going to tell them why you're the right candidate for the position and how to reach you. Okay, these are three really important. And again, it will show your skills. It'll show some information that's not on your resume. Your talents. Your posting asks for someone with renovation experience. In my 5 years in construction, 3 were spent in home and business renovations. Perfect. Okay, your resume is going to say that you are experienced using power tools, that you have done, drywall, you've done framing, but it doesn't give you this part of it. Okay, so this gets you to expand on your talents and your skills. Another one here is, since you're looking for someone with experience in landscaping, you'll be delighted to learn that I have been working as a landscaper for the past 2 years. Find something that you can connect with. And then the interest. Why do you want to work for that company? Again, here's another example for horticulture. I have a passion for horticulture and helping clients enjoy their property. I've been happily working in the landscape industry for 2 years and I'm excited for a new challenge within the field. Telling an employer that you're excited for a new challenge is not a negative thing. I get a lot of people asking me that. Should I say that? Yeah, it's a new company. Of course, there's going to be new challenges. Doesn't mean you can't do the job. It doesn't mean you don't have the skills. Absolutely. You should let them know. Again, it's your interest, it's your excitement and your enthusiasm all in one right here. The connection, this is going to be basically your last line in your cover letter. Although this information, your phone number or your email will be up at the top of your letter, always put it at the bottom as well, okay? You can be reached. Another one I like to say is, I look forward to meeting you in person. Now, in person, we're going to talk about that, as not personally mean in person or virtually. You could add that in now as well, to discuss how I can bring value to Cargill Industries. Okay, please be sure that you put the company name in there. So reaching its goals, bringing immediate value to the company. Value is the big buzzword in the business world today. So we're going to talk a little bit about disruptive cover letters now. So in order to get the attention of the recruiter, your cover letter needs to be disruptive. And you're probably thinking, what? It needs to be different than other cover letters they receive. And trust me, a recruiter will spend 10 seconds on a cover letter or a resume. They're scanning through it real fast, okay? Most jobs today, there's 200 people applying for a job. And the competition is tough. And I'm talking here pre-COVID. Depending on what you're looking to get into or what your job is, post-COVID, and now as we start to see the things moving and opening up more with more positions, the competition's going to be tough. So putting the cover letter, you need to stand out. So you need to connect yourself with the company in a meaningful way. And here's that word again, that value. So you need to be a detective. You need to go through every posting with a fine-tooth comb, okay? Or a magnifying glass if you're a detective. So the job description usually tells you exactly what the company is looking for. I will tell you what a company puts in is they're definitely their wish list. Okay, this is what we want. I would say 90% of what's in a job description is what they will be accepting. Okay, so and I'm going to talk to you about some things as well. So what I mean, what's that 10% that you can get away with that you might not have, but you should be looking for having at least 60 to 70% of what they're looking for. So sometimes on a job description, you're going to see some words being repeated, okay? And this is a really good example. So look for the trends in the repeated words here. So in the green and blue, we're going to move along, you'll see here. And yellow is personality, okay? So anything in the yellow, enthusiastic, energetic, motivated, that's your personality, okay? Because they're looking for sales and customer service, moving on here for the responsibilities and duties, here's what you're going to be doing. You are selling fitness and training equipment. Okay, the green part, again, look how many times sales is being mentioned here. So you know you better have a strong sales background in order to apply for this role. Okay, you know this is one of their top skills, what they're looking for. So with it saying a showroom, what does that mean? Well, you can assume you're going to be meeting people face to face. Okay, again, showroom. So in a showroom and meeting people face to face, they're looking for a professional person, okay? They're looking for people that will speak to customers in person, on the phone, or email. Professional. Do you see the professional part up at the top in the yellow? Again, the yellow part, I'm going to go back to a couple screens, is the personality that they're looking for. So qualifications. Obviously, because we saw sales being mentioned several times, you know that is definitely what they're looking for. CSR, customer service relations or relationships. They do not want someone probably that's an introvert in this role. Okay, if you don't like being out in the public, talking to people, you don't have that pizzazz of a salesperson, and I think everyone in the world knows what a pizzazzy salesperson looks like, but not an overbearing salesperson. That's what they're looking for in this, especially in a fitness and sector. So the yellow part, friendly, people person, good communication skills, perfect. So these are what we mean by being a detective. You're going to pick out certain things out of a job description. This will be your 80% or 85% of what you've got that you definitely will be applying for this role. So a lot of times you're going to see, submit your resume with a brief description of why you're a good fit for the team. Okay, the good fit is that's the relationship part. Okay, and in a position like this, for if you were applying to this, perfect would be, I'm an avid gym goer. It might not be with this company, but you could say that you have been a member of a gym for several years. You're familiar with using the, mention the different kinds of machinery because you're selling sales here. So you just have to get that personal experience for them.
Sandy, we have another question.
Yeah.
This person's wanting to know if you're applying for a position in which it's a new career area for you, but you have little to no experience, how do you showcase yourself if your skills don't translate to the position?
Then I would say it's probably not, first of all, it's probably not a position you want to do. Like you really got to think about it. Do you want to be, are they asking that they don't have sales experience and they still want to apply for this job, Harvey?
No, this is somebody that's going into a completely new career area and they have no experience. So I think maybe what they're asking is about maybe transferable skills in the cover letter.
Okay. So then what you will use is the customer service skills. If you've had prior customer service, if it's something different, so you've never done sales before, maybe you've not done in-person sales, or maybe you've been worked in a call center. A call center would be fine, perfectly to do this because you're covering your customer service. And although in a call center, if you've ever worked in a call center, you know the big thing is to try and upsell. So you would use those skills. However, if you have none of these, what they're looking for in the qualifications, responsibilities, I would probably say it may not be the best fit for you right now. Because when they say sales experience 1 year and customer service 1 year, you know they want you definitely to have the experience in those two areas. Fitness-related experience, and see where it says does not have to be professional. Well, fitness-related means, yeah, I attended a gym. Have a gym membership and have for 20 years. That's a bonus. So pick up maybe on something like that. Does that answer, I hope? Okay. Sorry.
No, go ahead. That's
okay,
good.
So this is another big faux pas if there's any mistakes on your cover letter. Okay, you need to check and double check everything. Please check it. Be sure all your contact information is correct. Okay, your email is your biggest thing. A lot of times there could be an and, or you've missed an and, or you've missed a .ca or, you know, .com. Please be sure you double check everything. And I'm going to show you some really bad mistakes that people made on their cover letters. Have somebody else proofread it for you. Okay? One grammar or spelling error could eliminate you from the competition. And I want to mention here as well, let's go back to when you're doing your research and you're calling the company to try and get the name of the person. Always ask to spell their last name, okay? There's nothing wrong with that, especially if it's not a simple name like Jones. Mm-hmm. Say, well, could you spell their last name for me, please? That's fine. So here's a perfect example. Get somebody else to check it for you. So let's go through some mistakes that we're going to learn. So in a cover letter, we're applying for a career development practitioner role. Mm-hmm. First line, please accept this letter and resume for an assistant manager in communications. You cannot use the same cover letter for every job that you're applying for, everyone. Okay? You need to change your cover letter every single time. And this is where the mistakes, proofread it. So you've got the company name, you've got the person's name, dear Miss Jones. And then if you go and you say, please accept this letter for the wrong job, that whole thing right now is going into file 13, meaning garbage. It's being shred. Okay? And you know, again, you don't want to start your resume with please accept this letter and resume. You would start it saying, it's with great enthusiasm that I'm applying for your career development practitioner role. Okay? Here's another one. It's always good to put volunteer experience on your resume or extracurriculum. If you have coached soccer or you are a camp leader, always put any volunteer, any out of the ordinary work that you're not getting paid on your resume. Okay, so here's a good one. Served on the, what do you think this should have been? It should have been board of directors of your housing corporation. In a cover letter for an employment counselor, I have experienced ruining my own business. Well, any recruiter or an HR person is going to throw that out. This is a true story, a true cover letter that was sent to one of the employment specialists here at Pathways, and the client said that, okay, can you just review this for me because I want to apply for this job. So go ahead and have a look at this. I'm going to give you a few seconds to read through it. I probably don't have to talk much about all the mistakes in here, do I? It goes on. Obviously, we have changed the name and some of the name and phone numbers of the people, but okay. Where did Susie go wrong? Go ahead, put a comment into Harvey. I'd like to hear what you think.
One person, Sandi, has said, it hurts to read it. My brain hurts trying to fix it.
I like it. I love it. I know, right? It takes more to try and figure out what they're saying than, what is that word? Okay, you're right. Anything else come in?
One person said, I am attending a dumpster fire. Please hold for smoke signals. Another one said spelling and grammar.
Right, proofreading. Obviously did not proofread. Or I think this Susie Q proofread it, but she didn't have anyone else proofread it before she sent it to us. Her personal information is not relevant to the role at all. Very repetitive. She made no personal connection to the employer. So what I mean by that is I'm going to go back here, and do you see where she said, I heard this comparison has a great this company has a great reputation for high-end office cleaning. I would have started with that right at the beginning. I would have started here. Well, after Dear Miss Furman, it is with enthusiasm that I am applying for the cleaning position with ABC Company because you have such a great reputation for high-end office cleaning, and this is my expertise. Okay. Again, she put in Dear Hiring Manager, didn't take the time to even consider looking up the name of the person who she should be addressing this to. To an employer, this just shows that you went that one extra step. As prior to coming to Pathways, I was an HR director, as a lot of you know, with a prominent company hotel here in downtown London. And I'll tell you, anytime that I got an application with an application and a cover letter and they had my name, that's going into my A pile. Because that person took the time, took extra time, and that's the kind of person that I want working for me. Asking questions in the letter, that's not what this is about. So here's how the letter should read. Again, you see here we've got the person's name, title, not always necessary though. Don't stress yourself over it. It's great if you see it because, again, on a website, it will say our HR manager is Angela Anderson, the company name, and of course, you're going to have the company address here. Dear Ms. Anderson. Okay? So go ahead and you can have a look and read through. I love this part in today's world, creating a healthier and safer environment for everyone. Poof, that's going in my A pile. And again, Susie Jones, phone number and email. Which candidate would you want to meet? Susie Q number 1 or Susie Q number 2? We are here to help you. Like I said, this is going to take you the most time to prepare a cover letter. You can use the basics of your cover letter probably for each job, but the beginning, your first paragraph should be changed. If there's anything specific more that skills that you have that one company is asking that another one is not, put it in, okay? And you all know if you have any questions, you can always email us. So a lot of questions people ask us are, should I include lots of big technical words in my cover letter? No, no need to, okay? Unless you're applying for a PhD position up at Ivy or at London Health Sciences, no, they don't expect it. I'm a funny person. Should I add some jokes to my cover letter? Not a good idea. If you're a funny person, why? Are you? No reason. It's not going to get you the job. And I don't have all the skills listed in the posting. Should I mention that? No, never. Don't put a negative into your cover letter, okay? Make it a positive. And if anybody has a question about this, we're more than happy to answer it, or we will help you and coach you through a different way of adding that in. It's okay, again, you don't need to have every single skill that's in a posting, but the ones that we highlighted, you know, the ones that we highlighted in green, yellow, blue, if it's to do specifically with sales like our example did, then you know you better have that, okay? But transferable skills are key. And we talk about that all the time in our classrooms and our workshops, and we're here to help you with that. Any questions come through?
Sandi, I have one here. This person wants to know, after you've gathered all the information on the company, how long should it take you to ideally to formulate the letter? Pardon me, how long should it take ideally to formulate the cover letter?
I would say, honestly, I would say a good couple hours.
Okay.
Depends on how quick you think of things, right? And my suggestion is once you've prepared your cover letter, leave it be for a while, whether it be overnight, and you go back to it the next day, because maybe you'll be thinking of other things you could have included. Right. Don't be hesitant right away to get on that, okay? After you've had somebody else review it, and preferably somebody who knows you, because they might say to you, hey, didn't you do this back then? And, you know, why don't you add the part about your volunteering? So you might get some good suggestions. So don't, just give it a couple, I would say it takes good 2 hours to prepare, to finish it up, and then get it proofread, leave it be for a while, and then go back. But definitely also when you're looking at jobs, check to see what the deadline is, okay? Because all the jobs do put deadlines on them. If you haven't seen the job and you're right at the end of it, you've only got a day, just give yourself an hour then in between to think about other things that you might have forgotten that you want to add to your cover letter.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions?
No, nothing else.
Oh, we can take a minute.
Take a minute. And Lori has a good point here. Lori's mentioned that the more cover letters you do, the better you get at it. And it'll soon become second nature once you're doing this process.
Yeah. And my suggestion also is to save every cover letter under the company name that you applied to. Because when you get that call for an interview, whether it be virtual or in person, then you can just click right on it and you know exactly what you said.
Mm-hmm.
So always keep it in a separate file under the company name. That's how I did it anyway. I always kept it, that's how I kept it filed. And by the way, next week's webinar is going to be on virtual job interviewing, which has not been presented yet for any of you who have seen this presentation before. It's a brand new presentation that we're doing, and Harvey and I will be doing that again next week. So if any of you have any questions, we welcome you to send them to us. If you would like a recording, or if you'd like this presentation emailed to you, we are happy to do that. My email is Sandi, S-A-N-D-I, @pathways.on.ca. And that concludes our 40-minute presentation today. Thank you all very much. I hope you got something out of it, and you take your first shot at it. And any four of us, Harvey, Lori, Becky, or myself, you've got our emails. Again, we're happy to review it for you. That's what we're here for, to help coach you, and wish you all the best. And keep an eye on those job sites, because those websites, there's more and more coming out every day.
Thank you, Sandi.
Thank you so much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.